Can you imagine the lengths people are going through for revenge? So an anonymous lady reached out to us on our Instagram DM and decided to share her story. It was a strange and rather disturbing story. For privacy reasons, we'll call her Chioma. Chioma got married to Kylian when she was 24 and Kylian was 28. And to be very honest, she saw marriage as complete devotion to her husband. She was loving, she was caring, she was attentive. She would wake up at 4 a.m. to prepare breakfast for him to go to work before she even had something to eat. For her, that's how she understood marriage, service, and loving your husband. Kylian, on the other hand, was a good husband. I mean, not as caring as Chioma, but he was caring, attentive. He made sure she had everything she ever wanted, never wanted of anything extra. He provided, stood by her, and protected her. But you see, Chioma did extra, above and beyond, and gave not only her time, energy, and love, but her whole entire soul to Kylian. Family and friends around her told her that, look, be careful, you're doing too much, you'll lose yourself, you need to have an identity separate from your husband. Chioma was not willing to hear that. Her sole purpose in life was to her husband. She made meals for him on a daily basis. Everything he wanted, she got it for him. The house was always spick and span, perfect looking. When he wanted bedroom activities, she never said no. Any day, time, direction, style, she was available. But surprisingly enough, there were still whispers. People would say that, oh, Chioma, be careful. Oh. It's like your husband is sleeping outside. But how? How could that have been possible? Every time she calls him, he picks. He doesn't stay late in the office. He's a prayerful man. Everything she needs, he provides. How could he be stepping out? And honestly, the both of them would sit down and even laugh at the gossipers, saying that, look, clearly they know nothing about our love and relationship because we are doing fine. Then one Tuesday evening, May 2nd, 2023, Kylian came home to a beautiful setup. Dinner was freshly made, candles had been lit, a bath was running ready for him, and Chioma was in the best of moods. Of course, thinking that it was happy go time, Kylian started to adjust, but Chioma said, no, wait, calm down. That this is not what I've brought you here. I have a surprise for you. Kylian says, okay, what is it? What does it look like? Chioma handed him a paper with medical tests on it, just for Kylian to read it and realize that a pregnancy test on it said she was pregnant. He shouted and jumped and screamed with joy because they were finally going to have a child. Their life was perfect. They immediately started planning. Chioma and Kylian were going to set up a room, decorations, buy toys. They knew a child was on the way. During one of the prenatal visits, Chioma and Kylian went in, they had a few couple routine checkups, and then the doctor called Chioma separately and said that he had to talk to her. In that moment, he informed Chioma that, look, I have to tell you that unfortunately, you've tested positive for HIV. Chioma laughed because, she'd been HIV negative her whole life. She has her husband, she's not been anywhere, so clearly the doctor must be wrong. Unfortunately, the doctor was very serious. He said, no, you are positive. You would need to inform your husband. Chioma said, wait. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but let's test my husband first. Maybe it's a fluke, maybe there's an issue. The doctor agrees. So doctor calls in Kylian and says, look, sir, your wife will be giving birth down the line, so we'd recommend a couple of tests from you. We also request that you donate just in case of any emergencies. Kylian agrees, goes ahead, donates. Now, his tests come back no later than an hour later. Then the doctor sits both Kylian and Chioma down and says, unfortunately, I have to tell you guys that you're both HIV positive. In that moment, Chioma turns to look at Kylian. Her heart breaks. Kylian cannot even look up at her. Doctor continues by saying, Kylian's viral load is higher than yours, meaning he got it first. Kylian and Chioma both left that hospital, refusing to talk and look at each other. In the car, Chioma's eyes were red, filled with unshed tears, and Kylian, his hands shook as he drove. They drove home in complete silence. Even the radio could not help. Upon arrival at home, Chioma broke down, crying, screaming, shouting, breaking mirrors, throwing vases, everything in absolute chaos. Kylian tried to beg, please, Chioma, I'm sorry, it was just one time. I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again. He continued to beg and plead that it was just one time, they had a fight. He found solace in another woman's arms. It was just an accident. Chioma refused to hear anything. She wanted nothing to do with him, the whole situation, no explanation, and she cried. For days and days and days, Chioma cried until she had no life left in her. She refused to take care of herself, refused to eat. So it almost wasn't a surprise when, after weeks of not taking care of herself, Chioma suffered a miscarriage. She looked in numbness as oozed down to the floor as she officially lost their child. Part of her was at peace knowing she was not going to bring a sick child into the world. But with the death of her child, the last human part of Chioma died in that same moment. After spending a few days in the hospital and recovering fully, Chioma came back to the house, a brand new woman. She was changed. She looked at Kylian and said, "You know what? I forgive you. Everything will be fine." And she went straight to the kitchen, cooked him his favorite meal. Obviously, Kylian was a little scared because she just did a 180. She was a completely brand new woman. But as time passed, he started to believe her. Maybe she really had forgiven him. Maybe she changed. Maybe she was okay and they could fix this marriage. Unfortunately for Kylian, that was not the truth. While she smiled and cooked for him, Chioma was plotting her revenge. She was out for vengeance, destruction. So she started her plan. One random night, she dressed up in a cute little tight dress and went to visit Kylian's cousin. There, she pretended to spill a drink on herself and caught him. He'd already been making quick remarks at her, but she used this as an opportunity with him and destroyed his life. Her second victim was Kylian's younger brother. Again, she went to him begging and pleading, saying, "Oh, your brother cheated on me. I'm so devastated." And when he was vulnerable, she got intimate with him as well. Destroyed his life. Her next target was her ex. Similar pattern, went to him, lies, stories, got intimate with him as well. By this time, Chioma was on a war path. She had decided that this was her mission in life. She was going to go hunting in clubs, in bars, in event centers, at hotels. Any man who was walking around with a ring and would hit on her would be her next target. By this time, Chioma ended her story to us by telling us that she is not a role model for our YouTube audience. She's not a role model for you guys. She just wants to share her story for every married man to understand that there are some women in this world who give their everything to their husbands, and when they feel betrayed, they will burn the world down. She's made it her mission that she is on the hunt. Every hotel, every club, every bar she goes to and sees a married man with a ring on his finger out in the streets instead of being home with his wife will be her next target. And when that happens, she is dead set on destroying their destinies. Now that's an entangled web. Stay safe in these streets, gentlemen, and don't cheat on your wives. That's all we've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Entangled Web Stories. And I'll see you in the next one.